Hey, fellow travelers, coming at you once again. This is number two in my series of camera supports and how to manage things out in the field. What I'm going to be talking about today are gimbal type things. So I primarily use my iPhone for my um, outdoor videos. It's lighter and a lot of great qualities to it, so I prefer it in many ways. When I first started doing that, I thought, well, and I did some research and all that, and it seemed like everybody was using these gimbals. Okay, so relatively inexpensive. It was like 130 maybe on sale. It's been a couple years. This is not a current model. And so I thought I'd buy it and give it a shot. I mean, it seemed like that's the thing to do. When professionals recommend a product, that's probably the right way to go. So I used this several times, and to be quite honest with you, I never got the point of it. I never really figured out why I need to spend money and carry an electronic thing around me. This is a pound and a half maybe for this thing, when all I really need to do is do this. I can do that quite well. And if I'm going to do something stationary, I've got my, as I was talking about in my other video, my standard is my Frankenstein camera support. That's, as I said, this is my Insta360 stick. If you can read it, boom. That's my Insta360 stick that I simply attached to a tabletop tripod. That comes off. This can do duty as a tripod. The legs open and close, as I said before. Um, if I need to be stationary with my phone, in most instances, this works just fine. Ball head for adjustment and clamp, I'm good to go. So in moving, the only real issue, especially in outdoor videos, is it may be subtle, maybe you're controlling it, but there's still a lot of this. So I've kind of shied away from it in a lot of my videos. I don't do long walking sequences because of that. I thought this would be the answer, but it really just didn't work for me. When I first got into it, I got one of these, as I said, the DJI, and it's a nice unit. It does everything very well, but you still have to do the ninja walk. So I figured, why am I carrying this thing if I'm still doing the ninja walk? So this set, I haven't used it since. Um, what I did, I found on Facebook, we all get those ads, right? This is called Idle Cam. I got the red color because I have determined, I shot weddings for 20 plus years. And when you're in a dark reception room and you need to change out a battery or a CF card or a whatever, something broke, and you're digging around, typically all my photo gear would be behind the DJ booth in an already dark place. And so I learned the value of having some things that are not black. Most photo gear and packs and all that stuff, they're all black. It's okay, it's cool, but at the middle of the night, in the middle of the dark, I mean, middle of a reception and you're trying to find something, it better be white or red or something. So I applied that logic to this. I got the red one of these, they come in black, but I figured if this is laying on the ground somewhere and I'm doing a visual sweep, let's go. Did it get everything? I can see this and where I may miss the black one. So anyway, what this is a spring-loaded mechanism. It's very simple. It's just aluminum. Aluminum they've made into these U-channel things. And they put a couple of springs in there. And this actually, if you've ever heard of or seen what's called a steady cam that they use in film, this is very similar. It's a very stripped down but very similar idea. And what you've got is a calibrated this whole system has to be calibrated for whatever weight you're carrying on here. But imagine, see, there's your recording device. So if the idea is, the theory is that if you're moving, my right hand is moving, right? Then the left hand, which is the device, is still very stationary. So it's absorbing all that vertical movement. Um, this is the base model. What you do is you'd have to put a handle on here to make it comfortable to carry. And then your camera, you would need one of those. See if I can get it here real fast. I would put you don't have to have um, a ball head on it, but it certainly makes it more versatile. If these, if you just screw the phone bracket to it, you're locked into a whatever position this is in. Sometimes these things will shift and twist around, and then you can do a vertical or horizontal. But if you can't, then you should have a ball head. But you probably want to keep it as light as possible out here anyway, just so that this is a very lightweight spring. It's really meant for an iPhone, and that's about it. So I would recommend, actually, now that we're talking about it, rather than a ball head, get one of those or phone brackets that the thing can actually spin. And I don't think I have one handy. Oh, I do actually. See if you can see this from the side. So you can go. Let's see if we can just spin this around. I got too much stuff in the way to move it here. That's the problem. See, it can hold the phone horizontally or vertically, right? So I'm gonna have to switch that because I don't need a ball head. Okay, I'll just cut. Okay, so that's the base model. What I did is I took one of these little tripod thingies. You know, eventually you end up with a million of these. I've got, I don't know, I don't even know where they come from. Some are plastic. This one's metal. It's a little bit stronger. Uh, so basically, this is made so you can put that in the bottom, and you have a handle. You can open it like a tripod, but it's so top heavy, so front heavy. I mean that this is doesn't work. So really, all this is a handle, okay? And then out here at the end, I took one of those phone brackets that allows you to change the phone position because it's, you know, right now I can have the phone vertically. So, and here's the idea: as you're walking, it does that, and this doesn't move as much. Um, I played with it a little bit, and then we can go back to horizontal. I've played with this a little bit. The thing about it that I have found is that it's difficult for me to transition from walking to stationary. This it doesn't, if I wanted to like do a long exposure with in a still photo, or I wanted to capture some video, this is just not quick enough sometimes, a little too cumbersome when I'm backpacking to I would need like a whole other setup to go to my standard setup here, uh, which is my stationary uh, camera support, right? I've showed you a bunch of times now already. So to carry, carry this and have the camera on it while I'm hiking so I can get that action, and then to switch the camera over to this um, is, it's when you're backpacking and you're tired, it's a big ask. Just put it that way. You have to have both of these things out and ready, and um, for me, I figured I would sacrifice the walking shots to get better stationary shots. That was the agreement I had to come to. That's what I decided. As this thing was pretty good. It actually works better than the $150 gimbal, to be honest with you, because it's designed simply to alleviate the vertical bump, the vertical jumping, and it does pretty good at that. Then the transition from this unit to this unit so that I could get a still shot just became too much. So, when you're backpacking, it takes a lot of energy as it is, and so it's just kind of, you know, you have to cut corners, you have to cut out what's not really necessary, frankly. And so this had to go, but otherwise a pretty good unit. Well, okay, so that's really, I don't want to belabor the point. That was my whole talk today about gimbals and handheld accessories and things like that, stabilization, mounting devices. How's that one sound? PG enough for everybody. Again, my thoughts on the gimbals like this as a backpacker. If you've got one of those things that can track you, then that's great. I think that's the best use for this. I found for myself, other than that, wasn't necessary. This one here works pretty darn good for walking, doing a lot of walking. This actually works better than the gimbal. The problem for me then is switching from this to the stationary holder here, a bit too cumbersome. So, in the comments, I'd really love to hear if you guys have a better solution, because I've been working on this for a couple of years now, and I know that there's something out there. And if you found it, I would really love to know about it. How's that one for you? I mean, there it is. It's pretty flat out. That's what I'm telling you here. For me, this is what I've gotten to. But if you've got a better idea, please let me know. All right. So, and if you did get any value out of this, that's good. I'm glad. I'm glad I helped somebody out. So, I wouldn't mind a like, and I wouldn't mind the subscription and all that good stuff. So, have a great day. Hope to see you on